Yo, what is going on, investors? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason, and today I'm going to show you guys how I make $1,000 a week selling options. I do not buy options. I sell options. I sell puts and I sell covered calls. I'm going to give you guys the steps to show you guys how eventually you can too make $1,000 a week selling options. It's not going to be overnight. It's going to take some time and you're going to need some capital. But I'm going to show you how to grow your account and the strategies I used and perfected over time so I can make $1,000 a week selling options. Let's get into it. The first thing I want to do is actually show you guys my portfolio and how I made $1,000 this past week selling options. Again, I sell puts and covered calls. In order to sell puts, you need the capital, right? So an options put contract is for 100 shares. So if you wanted to sell the $7 put for a stock like SoFi, you would need $700. One share costs $7, and then multiply that by 100 and you get your $700 of collateral you need to sell that put. In order to sell the covered call, you need to own 100 shares of a particular security. So take a look at the screen right here. All the pluses is all the money I made this past week. And if you can see the dates right here, they all end on 5/17, which is today. So I came in around $1,020. And the two losses I have are on HIM stock. My average cost is around $9 a share. So I sold the covered calls at $13 and $13.50. The stock unfortunately ran up to $14.50. So I have to sell my shares at $13 and $13.50. But I got to collect a little bit of premium along the way. For the $13 call, I got $30. So I actually had to sell this at $13.30. And then for the other one, I got $19 for the $13.50. So I had to sell these shares at $13.69. But since my cost basis was $9, I made money either way. And HIM stock has run up over the past quarter or so. So I'm okay selling these shares at these prices. So ultimately, this is how I made $1,000. I sold calls on CleanSpark, puts on CleanSpark, a Corsair Gaming put at $10, a DraftKings put at $40, a call at $45, and you can go and see all the different types of calls and puts I sold to achieve this sort of gains, right? So I want to take you over to my account. This is a six-figure account, right? So it took me a little while to build this account. I started around 5 years ago with $15,000 and was able to grow this over time. But once you get a nest egg, I'm going to show you something really cool. So I have $100,000 in securities, right? So I also get margin equity based on the securities that I own. So I'm using $36,000 of Charles Schwab's money. But if you take a look down here, balance subject to interest is $0. Now, why is that? It's because I don't actually own these underlying assets, right? So if I'm selling puts, I don't actually own the stock, but I'm allowed to collect premium. It's essentially a free loan against the securities that I own. So if you look down here, this is my margin equity. It's the securities plus the $5,000 in cash I have. So my equity percent is 61%. So I actually have 61% more margin I could use, right? So if you take this options equity and divide that by the margin equity, that's where I get the 61%, right? And then I could use this down to around 0 in my account, right? But I don't ever want to overextend myself. So that's why my equity percent will always stay above 50%. So I'm allowed to use the stocks that I own to sell covered calls. But I can also sell things called naked calls and naked puts, where I don't necessarily have the cash or I own the underlying equities to make these moves. So right now I own around 3,500 shares of SoFi. So over the next year and a half, I'm selling way more than the 35 contracts, right? I get 35 because I own 3,500 shares in this account. You divide that by 100 and then you get 35 possible contracts, but I'm selling around 50 contracts spread out over the next 12 to 16 months at different price targets, right? So I'm always generating income each and every week. It takes a little bit of time to get used to these strategies, but the first thing you have to do is just own 100 shares of any stock, whether it's SoFi, Warner Brothers Discovery, Chewy, whatever you want. And you want to start with like a stock that's not $50 a share, so you don't need a ton of equity, right? SoFi is a great stock because it's only around $7.50 per share. So you only need $750 to buy 100 shares, and then you can start trading options, the covered call options on SoFi. Or if you just want to take the cash, say you have $700 in cash, you can sell a cash secured put. You get to collect a little bit of premium along the way. And then if it goes below $7, you have to buy that stock. But you like SoFi, so getting to buy it at a cheaper price is a win-win situation. You either get to keep the premium or you get to buy SoFi at $7, which is quite the bargain, and collect the premium along the way. Okay, if you have any questions about how I use margin to my advantage to get these type of gains, let me know in the comments below and I'll do my best to help you guys. I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't necessarily give you advice. I can only let you know what I do and how I do things. All right, if you like these type of videos, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. Peace.